Yowza, good evening and welcome to the BLAPPS TARK. This is Better Living and Positive Propaganda System, talking about real knowledge. That's what we do every week at 6 o'clock on Sunday. I invite you to the chat room immediately. You can talk about anything you wish to talk about, because I have an opinion just like everyone else, and I'd love to discuss it with you. I am Victor Evelyn, and I am chairman of the CDMA. That's the Community Development Through Martial Arts, which is a voluntary group based in Luton, and we deal with anti-bullying issues. So we do a lot of classes in schools and colleges, and to adults and children alike, the youth, upcoming youth. We do all kinds of courses in mind, body, and spirit. So therefore, you'll be able to get your character up, making you more confident and raising your self-esteem, and thus make you bully-proof. Do you see what I did there? Bully-proof. At the CDMA, we make you bully-proof. At the Martial Arts Anti-Bullying Collective, we make you bully-proof. The collective is a group of schools, martial arts schools, that go into regular schools and colleges and blah, 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 to help to deliver the Warriors Life classes, which have a complete syllabus that will help you to understand yourself a lot more internally, you know, mind, body, and spirit again. But we're trying to become self-enlightened. That means knowing yourself. Once you know yourself, your confidence goes up. You understand exactly what your power is, what you can do, what you have things to work on, and you will become super confident. The way we like our children to be is confident, so they can say no to drugs, no to knife going, no to gangs, and yes to things like positive and progressive systems that are surrounding them in their area, and inspire others, become their own role models. So welcome into your chat room. Like I say, I'm going to be talking about what happens over here, that's in the UK, what happens over there. Is anything outside the UK? Usually America, you know, because they've got stuff going on all the time. And community and celebrity and community, which any celebrity around the world and any community around the world. But I like to base it on my own community, because it's it directly relates to everything that's going on in another community around the world. We're all the same. We're all in this together. We're all suffering the same ways, and we all bleed and die the same. So there we go. I'm trying to find my music. I seem a bit distracted, right? I'm trying to find my music here. I don't know what's going on with it. It's gone. I can't find anything. I'm gonna play my rebellious music. See if I can find a dang thing. All right, artist, I'll do that way. Excuse me, I'm just trying to be. Oh no, I do. Spelling it out. See, that way. There you go. And see, it works. Excuse me, it came late, but as usual, it's here just on time.
Bluetooth device ready to pair. Bluetooth device connected. Disconnected.
Public enema.
Bluetooth device connected.
Yes. So let's get this party started right. We started a little late. I welcome you to the chat room. As I say before, I love to talk, and I will talk for a whole hour, no problem. But if you come in the chat room, you break it up and you make it go even quicker, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, welcome in. Today in UK, we've got Sidiq Khan, not happy, trying to represent his people, telling everyone that we need a second referendum. I don't understand. I don't understand this at all. We've done the vote. We all understood it. We had a long time to understand exactly what it would mean to leave and to stay. We asked all the questions. We had question time every week. I was there. We had question time every week, asking the question, what does it mean to have a Brexit? What will happen if we have a soft Brexit? What will happen if we have a hard Brexit? What would happen if we don't have a deal? What would happen if we do get a deal, but it's not a great deal for the UK? Do we do the referendum all over again? Do Scotland get to have a referendum? Because they actually wanted to stay, but they didn't get the answer that they wanted from the UK, even though they said whatever the UK and Scotland say, we'll put it together, and if it's predominantly no, we'll leave. All right? So that happened. We got Brexit. We got 2 years to sort it out. It's been 2 years now. And now, because of Theresa May's faffing about, not understanding what the hell she's talking about, and being weak on trade and being weak in her arguments and her debating, she has now given the Mayor of London pause for thought. And he's now saying, I want to have a Brexit again. My people say they should have Brexit. No, it's because we're all finding out that your system, or whatever you decided was going to be the best deal for Brexit for the UK, is not a good one. It's rubbish. We're weak now. And yeah, we might be weak, but we take it on the chin and move on. Take it on the chin, move on. Okay? So we suffer for a while. There's plenty of world to go around. We don't have to stay in Europe for everything we want. All that Theresa May going over to Africa trying to hi, how you doing? Let me try some of your, what do you call it? Dancing. Let me try this. This is very weird. It seems fun. We already had that, but we seem to think that the colonial way, it worked before. Let's do it again. And Theresa May was like, I love South Africa. I've always loved it. You see how I dance? It's because of South Africa, my links to it. They've made my hips what they are today. Not a bollocks. But, this is what we're talking about in the UK. Hello, Joanna. Hello, baby. Yay. Good. Good talking to you this week. It's awesome. Nice to see you in the chat room. I know you're not afraid to open your mouth, girl. I know. You call yourself Big Bird. You know what I'm saying? Big mouth, Big Bird? Big mouth or Big Bird? Okay, cool. Well, come on in. Use it. I ain't afraid. I ain't scared. Bring it in. Anything you got to say, I will comment on and reason with you and see if it's the same thing. I'm getting messages. I'll see you a little distracted. I get messages. It's beginning to be a Sunday evening thing now. BLAPPS at 6. BLAPPS TARK at 6. So there you go. So what do you think of the stuff I'm going to talk about today? Over here, we're talking about why is Sidiq Khan trying to get another referendum going? What's that about? And what over there, we're going to talk about Trump and his many minions that he said, we're going to have the best people. We're going to have some of the best. Oh yeah, the best of what they do, the most magnificent Congress, and everything's going to be so seriously awesome. And they're all in jail now. They're all going to jail. They've all pleaded guilty. They're all working with Mueller and the outside investigation to see if there's collusion and cohesion with Russia. And it's not looking good for him. So we'll be talking about that over there in about 5 minutes ish. And then we're talking about the celebrity community. We're talking about Serena Williams and community were talking about the decision over Leon Briggs. Yeah, our man. Leon, who died in police custody 6 years ago. 5 years ago? I think it's 5 years ago. But I'll get back to you. Well, and the decision that's happened about the whole scenario involving him dying in police custody, and decisions the police inquiry has been made. So, or the individual inquiry, was it outside inquiry? It's still wrong. It's still rubbish. But we're going to talk about that. And of course, at the end, we're going to talk about what sparks me off. So, Joanna, what you got to say, girl? Bring it in. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up. Okay. I'll bring your attention while you're here, while I have you, to what's happening. Okay. Now we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a minute. Hold on. We'll talk about the community event that's coming up in a couple of weeks. In a minute, I'm just going to bring up this piece of news that I had on Sidiq Khan. Okay, he has brought this up for ridiculous reasons as well. It's selfish, obviously, because this guy has not done anything for anyone since being the mayor. I was wondering, why is he piping up? So his response to the whole referendum was, there's no need to panic. Okay. There's 1 million Europeans, this is Sidiq Khan talking, there's 1 million Europeans living in London, you are welcome here. But that's not what Theresa May said. She's putting through legislation, right, as part of the deal, that, they'll have to get new passports and they might have to get deported, like what's happening in Trump's land. They might have to get deported first, we'll sort it out, and then they can come back. And I'm like, oh, what kind of ridiculous rubbish is that? I've never heard so much rubbish. So now Sidiq Khan has gone up and has responded to the United Kingdom's vote to leave the European Union by saying, by reassuring the Europeans that this enormous contribution they make will not be forgotten, and it won't change because of this referendum. So why is he calling for another one? What's this problem? He says, I believe that Britain is better off within the European Union, but the British people have clearly spoken today, and their democratic will must now be fulfilled. I would like to praise David Cameron for the dignified way he has reacted to the message sent by the British people. This is when David Cameron left. All right, cool. But this report is not an old one, but it's they're taking it from the way back when Sidiq Khan was chatting about David Cameron's leaving and what it meant for Brexit. Oh yeah, he made a huge contribution to our city, working hard, paying taxes, and contributing to our civic and cultural life. You're welcome here. We value the enormous contribution to make our city and will not change the result of the referendum. Yeah. So, yada, 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 yada. So what do you think about that? What do you think about Sidiq Khan piping up and saying that he's speaking for all the people that think about immigrants? Weird man. I think it's all rubbish. We should just not the whole thought of Brexit is rubbish or that we had a referendum or anything, but the rethinking if we should have another referendum. It was totally sorted. We all knew what they were doing. Doesn't matter if they were thinking, hey, we can stop the immigrants, or these far right people were thinking, hey, we can stop the immigrants with this. Let's put our foot down and make sure people voted. People still had the choice. So it's predominantly people that are not from Europe that live here, and they all decided, together with the people that were allowed to vote, who came from other places around the world, who are now British citizens, we all decided to vote, and we must stick to the decision. So we voted, and now Brexit's happening. So just deal with it. Just let it go. Let it go. Britain is literally one top 2, 3 financial places in the world. Little tiny island, but yet we're our economy is like second or third to China and America in the world. It's amazing because we're already doing business with everyone. No one's dropping nothing. What they're worried about is the rules changing because they're leaving European Union rules. So we're going to go back to the 17th century or 18th century. So this is rubbish, you know. We'll make our own rules. It's all good. We're fine. I'm going to see if I can find some tunes to have a little break. Have some music. Oops, that's wrong. Okay, cool. Played that before.
Power on. Bluetooth device ready to pair.
Oh, the speaker's gone crazy. Hold on. I seem to have problems with my audio every week.
Bluetooth device connected.
There's a lot to see beneath where the dirt is. Dig a little deeper to scratch the surface, and maybe then you'll understand your purpose. Now reflecting on the game, kid, I have to say much love. Kick upon jam, master J. I'm lost to hit the world of hip hop, the John Lennon chapter out of life that prevailed the wrong in it. Steal from the notorious, hearts shook. The street started looking like we're missing part of Brooklyn. A disappointing flavor that we tasted before. But it's spots been secure for the late Shakur. The pain was severe when we lost the lid. We tried to get by and turned around and lost that fire. We even see how fatal diseases be. Snatching players like Easy E easily. Respect the freaky tie, Big L and Big Pun. The big one, the left the terror squad forever star. Your lifestyle and your musical gift in the hearts of many who truly miss. For real, in y'all and that hip hop always say true. And always remember just what that snake.
Hello, Jimmy.
Watch those around
How you doing, baby?
and be fake too. And never let the game.
How you feeling?
Most of all, in the garden, that hip hop stay in circle. There's a lot to see beneath where the dirt is. Dig a little deeper to scratch the surface, and maybe then you'll understand your purpose. I never claimed to be the kid slinging rocks to the X. Never claimed to be the kid that be popping the text. But if you look, it's like my name got stock in the jets. Damn a style though. I simply not wish to flex. And if you want, we can sit and talk dollars and checks and good investments. And what follows the next? You sitting there looking brolic and vexed, trying to screw face dudes. I'm trying to face rule the opposite sex. Take a glass of the Remy and start with the X. I never have a drum. I take a shot of it next. Life is beautiful, Jeff. For real, man. I'm trying to tell you. Oh, Jazzy Jeff. In the yard and that hip hop always stay true. And always remember just what a snake do. Watch those around you, cause they'll be fake too. And never let the game make you. Most of all, in the garden, that hip hop stay in a circle. There's a lot to see beneath where the dirt is. Dig a little deeper to scratch the surface, and maybe then you'll understand your purpose.
Yowza. So there's Joanna's gone into the chat room and said what's happened to all those bribes they were giving out to immigrants to go back home, basically. What happened to that joke? I think that was where was it? Is it? Oh yeah, no, it was quite recent, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. So thousands of to leave Britain with tailored packages, including free flights, money to start up businesses, and help to find schools for their children. Where were these schools and things going to be? Are they going to be in their own land that they came from? Why are they trying to get people to leave? I think they're offering it to asylum seekers, but I don't pay much attention to the mail, Joanna. So the thing is, when you get the reports from newspapers like that, I tend to think twice about the information I'm getting. But I didn't hear about this actually. The thing with me is that I ain't got no TV, so I rely on iPlayer and looking at the news on my apps and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't really see this. So I don't think it's actually going through. They're going through there. I think it's an idea that they were thinking of doing it. So anyone that leaves, that takes this deal, will not be allowed back. He'll be banned from returning for a decade. This is not going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. All right. So I don't know what you think, but I think it's not going to happen. Look at this. Put it this way: they'd have to give me a lot of money to say don't come back for 10 years, because I would rather be here for 10 years and scratch out a living and eventually make good on it, rather than they just give me a little 50 quid back and here's some money to start a business back in your own place and toil it out over there. Nah, I'd stay here personally. You know what I'm saying? They're going to give me money to go back to Jamaica. How much money am I going to ask for? How much money will I need? I've got to build the stuff. I've got to build the building. I've got to build up, you know what I mean, the whole crowd, and go out there many times to make sure that the buildings get built right and stuff like that. I don't get ripped off because I'm in the UK. I can't handle it. You know what I mean? So it's difficult. I don't see how they're going to do that. I don't think it's practical. But I think that's more of a businessman's idea of what they could do to bring down immigration, or to get asylum seekers not to come over here and abuse the services of the UK once they get here, I think. So let me know what you think. I can't comment on the room. Can't comment on the room. Why am I? It's been a long time since I worked. Okay, so it's not luck. It's fortunate. We're fortunate, Joanna, to have you. We're fortunate to have you. It's a good thing. There's always a silver lining to you not working or something. There's always a silver lining. They're your hair now, so it's all good. So that's all right. So right now we're talking about over there, and much as I tried to find something else to talk about over there, like I could talk about the storm in America. I could talk about Guatemala. I could talk about what's happening in North Korea. I could talk about, but you know, it's the biggest thing in the news this day. So I want to keep topical is Donald Trump. So it's difficult to avoid talking about this guy, and he loves it, you know. But we've got all these people around him that were to deal with his campaign, like Manafort, to deal with his legislation that Flint, to deal, I mean, Papadopoulos, and to deal with his security, Flint, to deal with his legal stuff, Cohen. All these people are now indicted, in jail, awaiting sentence, pleaded guilty. His whole circle has shrunk to the point where it's literally family now. It's just family he can trust. There's no one around him. He's shown time and time again that he will throw you under the bus. If he's pushed and poked and you come after him, he will fight back by saying, oh, he was nothing to me. You were nothing to me. You were the person responsible for that. It's under your fault. And then when you get indicted for it, he says, I will bail you out, bro. Don't say anything. And then you get done and he doesn't bail you out. So it's his own thought. No one trusts him anymore. Books have been written by him while he's in administration. While his administration is happening, in the first 2 years, there are multiple books being written about his legislation and his administration and how much turmoil it's in. So it's come to a head now in the last week or so that all these people are getting what are they getting? They're flipping because they're getting deals from Robert Mueller, who's the investigator on behalf of the government, on behalf of the country. Basically, they're doing a private, insight query into, see if there's Russian collusion, and they're saying that all the books are saying the same thing. It's madness. They're living in crazy town. No one trusts each other. They're spiting each other just to get ahead of each other. Loads of backbiting. Everyone's recording each other because they're not allowed to, basically. But they're not allowed to bring their own phone. They have to bring. They can keep their government issue phone, but they can't keep their mobile phone. When they go into a room to have a conversation with the president, they cannot tape anything. So they're trying to stop you from. They have to put it in a box now. But that doesn't stop them from recording either. So Manafort, Omarosa, she's released a book. Bannon released stuff when he was sacked. All these people, disgruntled employees, they're releasing stuff about him, and it's finally coming to the point where he's so pressured. He cannot go to his little crazy town talks he has with his constituents that he's interested, his base, where they're going, Trump, make America great again, man. America, get the guns. Get my people, immigrants out. Build that wall. Lock her up. He can't talk to them no more because they're starting to watch Fox. And Fox is under so much pressure to report what's going on that they have to report that the president is in trouble. His people around him are dying. They go to prison. And they're all talking about, the only thing Robert Mueller wants to know is, what did Trump know? When did he know it? And what's going on? Because if you don't answer me properly, you'll go to jail. And they're like, what? And then he says, okay, this will happen. And so now he's getting information from every place that was protecting Trump and holding his secrets. Like, I would never tell anyone about you, Mr. Trump. They're all flipping now and saying, yeah, I want to protect my family. I want to protect my future. I want to take years off my sentence. I will tell you everything you need to know. Everything. Everything? Yeah, everything you need to know. Trump knows it. And his base know it. And Fox News, his people that he has in his little back pocket, we work for the government media outlet, which is scandalous in itself. None of this would have happened under Obama. None of it. How much you hate Obama or love Obama, this would never have happened. Even when he came out and did a little speech a minute ago, right, saying this about Trump, he was like, how can you not say that Nazis are bad? What's so difficult about saying that? Everyone was like, where's this guy been? Such a breath of fresh air. Because you don't expect a president to act like this. It's unprecedented. Every single day this man makes an action. So yeah, they're all beginning to understand that Trump will not back you up. He will expect you to back him up. He expects complete loyalty, but gives none himself. And everyone's beginning to realize they're in deep doo-doo when they come up against Robert Mueller and when he starts asking questions and making threats that he can back up. And so therefore they're all flipping. And Trump is now going to these what do you call them? When you run for president again, you go out, you go on the road and you talk to your people at rallies. That's it, rallies. He's talking about the rallies. And he's always, yeah, we won in Ohio. They didn't think we could win in California. We took Florida, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, yeah, man. And we're going to build a wall. Yeah, man. And what was it? Jobs are up. Yeah, man. Your tax, your pay, your wages are going up. Yeah, man. And you're talking about immigration. That's going to stop. We're not going to have these people. We're going to have American jobs and hire American people for American jobs. Yeah, man. Look, man. And now he's had to say, look, they're trying to impeach me, so you have to, in the the they're going to have an election in a couple of months, midterms. In the midterms, you need to vote. Shut up. You need to vote for me. No, this is serious. No, stop it. We're not America making again. Whatever. You need to vote for me. If you don't, then Democrats are going to get into Congress. They're going to run Congress, and the first thing that's going to be on their lips is impeach me. They want to impeach me. I didn't do anything wrong, as you know, but they're going to impeach me. As soon as they vote goes their way, and they control Congress and they control everything else, they're going to impeach me, and they'll get it as well, unless you vote for me. So this is what's going on. This has now become the most important vote ever in America. It's not the vote to get the first black president, not important as this. This one will show what America really thinks about Trump and all his badness business going on. Does it truly stop his base from voting for him? We're going to find that out. We're going to find out that if they have won that midterms and they keep their seats and they hold Congress and majority, that they will not be able to impeach Trump, which means we've got another 2 years of this no matter what. I mean, he could just impeach and retire tomorrow. He could do it tomorrow. It'll be 2 months before he's out, but he'll be gone. You know what I mean? Mike Pence will have to join in. I don't know. But yeah, that's what's going on. It's mad. It's crazy. I love watching it. Every time I get up in the morning, I'm just like, before I have my coffee to wake me up, I know what will wake me up. I'll go watch the news and see what Trump's at. And I'm like, what? What? How come he's not being arrested? What? Every morning. Every morning? Yeah, every morning. Okay. And sometimes the news changes twice with this guy. He just twitters and that's it. He's uncontrollable. Yeah, he's got a problem. Big time. When I talk about people that in celebrity and community, we're going to talk about in a minute, about the madness that goes through some people's minds. We really need to get a hold of mental health, and in the UK, literally around the world, but we need to understand that everyone you talk to has got a little mental glitch going on in their life they can work with, so they're coping. It's like being a functioning alcoholic, or functioning depressed person, you're functioning high anxiety person, everyone's got something, some fear, some lacking of self-esteem. Everyone's got it. You see it in celebrities, you see it in the king and queen of people around the world. You see what's going on in that. You can just see in their eyes, and you just know. If we just talked about this, and you had someone to talk to, we could diminish a lot of this stuff, these mental health problems. So yeah, I think the mental health issue in the community needs to be like strangled. You need to get that all in line. I can't comment on the chat room. Yeah, you can. I can see your comments. What are you talking about, Joanna? I can see your comment. Yeah, about. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, my uncles and my aunts, my mum's side and my dad's side, they came to England. They did the Windrush thing. My dad did the Windrush thing as well. He was there in '54. And then mum came over a few years later. They got married over here in London. Then they moved about a bit, Birmingham, come back to Luton. And they worked. My dad was an engineer when he came over. He was a policeman in Jamaica. My mum came over. She was a nurse. Then she was a chef. And then they both went into business together. And they made so much cash from that just before I got married in '89, they decided they're going back to Jamaica and helped me buy my first house. That was it. So, and then they went home, lock, stock and barrel, sold the couple of houses that they had, sold all the vans that they had for their mobile catering business, and they went off home and took everything with them, just like their brothers and sisters did a few years later and before. So they're all back there now. So when they come to visit me, they got. You should see the houses they've got in Jamaica. Wow. So yeah, I'm up for the repatriation business if it's affordable, if it's doable. But they have plenty of time to get their houses sorted out, their palatial palaces that they've got over in Jamaica now. Just masses of farmyard and double story with a basement and massive driveways, and they built this on English money. Like, wow, guy's impressing me. Yeah, so there you go. That's what we're talking about over there and over here. So celebrity community now. I'll play another tune actually. I think I'll play a tune. Unless anyone's got something to say, I'm going to play another tunage. Don't know what I'm going to play, but
the underground created the mixtape, and things were good.
Power on.
Hip-hop
Bluetooth device ready to pair.
came along, the master of ceremony.
It's the brand new ish. It's the straight up exclusive son.
And then came along the
Bluetooth device connected.
I'm Big Bang, I am the chief. I got a lot of rap, but I'll be brief. I never need a horse, I like to chill. So I drive up in my new Seville. My drive went down in the Hall of Fame, cause I'm the one who shot Jesse James. Pound for pound, I will never break down. Big Bang. No, sir, I don't mess around. Oh! Oh!
Like Kiyosaki, of course it's me, better known as the Master G. A fucking squad, sense the danger, when it's done about the rapping ranger. Had a little talk with a medicine man, he said get them squads fast educate to all you girls and wanna join my tribe, just move to the rhythm and feel the vibe. Pray for fuss, in the end you'll agree, but when you come inside my DP, as I said before, you can sense the danger when you're studying about the rapping ranger. With Silver and I, take a ride, all you chicks better step aside. I steal the squads, then run away. How Silver is what I'll say. Hit it, gang! Well, just rock it out. Finger popping to the break of dawn. Keep it rocking like the stuff that we call me. What's that? Hot butter popcorn. You just give a hop, a dip, a pop, a bang, the boogie. You can bet you want to boogie again. And you can put me to the test at your request. I rock you out of your moccasins. Kemosabe got down, took off his mask. He kicked off the shooting, did the monster mash. Tonto came along, saw what was happening. His head began to bop on his foot, start to crack and go slam. Dunk, do the jerk. With the mic is how my smoke signals work. They were jamming off a record that said it best. Now what you hear is not a test. Oomba, 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 oomba. Oomba, oomba, oomba.
Okay, so we're on celebrity and community now. Sugar Hill Gang, Patchy, classic tune, you know me. Yeah, so we're talking about celebrity and community. Serena Williams was playing against, oh my gosh, I can't, why didn't I look it up first? She was playing a tennis game and lost because of a point, she says, because of points taken away from her for getting coaching from her coach. Now, when coaches, they're normally in the stands and they try to do signals to their players. And if the umpire spots them trying to give signals, then they say, oh, you're getting coaching, right? So point off. Now, I'd have to be playing, get my point, lose my point, look at my coach and see his signals and go, and then change my gameplay to get that result against you. This is the tennis thing. Crazy stuff in tennis, mad tennis. But this umpire saw it, even though Serena Williams was way over the other side and could not possibly even see him, right? Was busy playing the game, didn't acknowledge him at all. The umpire said, your guy's doing signals, which he was, but it's like to himself, like, you get closer to the net, and Serena Williams didn't see it, obviously, but because the umpire did do it and it was caught, the umpire took a point away. And she was like, what? How can you do that to me? Is it because I'm a woman? You don't do this to any other man. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. Like, you're out of order. You're wrong. I don't cheat. Now, Serena Williams has got many records. And one of them, not to do with tennis, is that she has been tested for doping more than any other athlete in the world. Okay? Now, think about that for a second. You've got people, Russia, they get doping tests like once or twice a month. At the time they're doing a tournament, say it lasts a week, they might get dope tested once or twice. Serena Williams gets tested literally before every tournament, before any game, she gets tested all the time. Has never, ever failed it. Never, never, ever. Not even coffee? Never. None. Never. Right? And she's killed every record that is in tennis. 10 times over. She killed everything. She does not cheat. She doesn't have to cheat. So when she's heard this, she's like, you're a thief. You stole a point from me. You're out of order. You're doing this because you're against women. She didn't actually say women, but it's like afterthought. It was, this man gets heat from players losing their rag. She dashed down her her tennis racket, smashed it up. She got another point docked, which made her match point lose a match point. And then, oh yeah, she got another point docked as well. So she lost match point, which is huge in tennis. And so she lost the game, which is a final game. So the youngster that she was playing against, I will get her name. I will find out her name. She was she's playing her hero. When she was a child, she's playing her hero and played awesomely and beat Serena Williams. She played her best and beat Serena Williams, but it's far overshadowed by Williams getting triple standard against her continuing. So men are deemed passionate. You remember McEnroe? Yeah, you goddamn mind. that ball was in. You're a retard. You're out of order. You know what I mean? Shouting, screaming, threatening. Nothing. Calm down, Mr. McEnroe. Because men are passionate. Women, hysterical. So this is what they were all saying in the newspapers and stuff, berating her for losing her mind, for going angry. But this is what happens in tennis. It's so normal. It's like eating fish with chips. It's what tennis players do. They lose it, and they're not considered hysterical if they're men. It's just women, and then they do it more on women, but ignore the men. It's ridiculous. All right. So this is what was being said post-interview talks and stuff like that, and that's why it's gone and reverberated around the world as a new issue in sport, that women should be treated equally to men, men be treated equally to women, and that's how it should be. No more bullshit, no more rubbish. Just make sure what you're talking about for me is the same way you talk about it for him. All right? It's about time. She should be treated with mad respect for what she's done for tennis. She needs to have a separate award for just being awesome at tennis and just being an awesome advocate for tennis players and the whole game. But this is how they treat the best at it. The best people at it, this is how they treat them. They're still back in 1950, 1960, you know what I mean? When women were fighting just to play, you know what I mean? Get the recognition, get the money that male tennis players get. So this is what's going on. Serena Williams has activated this huge talk now of reciprocation for everyone. Yes, going on to, which needs to be changed. All that stuff needs to be changed. Basically, what I'm saying. If you watch the tennis, the tennis game, you'll see that she was only arguing about the point and blah blah blah, and saying you owe me an apology. So the outburst stopped the game, put her off her stride, made her lose the game. That's what she's saying. But the person she was playing kicked her ass that day. But she was far of a shadow. You should just see her in the interview, just like, talk about me too, talk about me. So Serena Williams, even though she was crazy, she knew she was taking the heat, taking the limelight away from this guy, and said, no, don't talk about this. We'll talk about it later. This is the person you should be talking to. She was awesome. She beat me. She's wonderful. And you should be talking to her. Peace. And so later on, this whole palaver started. So she's even magnanimous in defeat. You see where she's going? Proper champion. Proper role model. Anyway, talking of people that we need to lift in the eyes of authority, Leon Briggs was arrested outside of a shop in Luton for acting up. Normal thing they associate with black people. You're acting crazy, you're too loud, you're too animated, we're taking you in. Him and his friend were taken to the police station. They stopped on the way, they did his cuffs or whatever while inside the van. Things were happening then. The procedure that they took him away with was dubious in the first place. They were trying to say it's a mental health thing, and they should make a decision whether to call an ambulance and take him to the hospital, or call the van and get them to take him to the police. They chose to take him to the police station, right? Even though they said he was carrying on like he had mental problems, like he had dissociative actions going on. So this is the police back in 2013. It was only 5 years ago. All right, and this is November 4th, I think. Yeah, so this is what's going on now. He died in police custody. Whether they activated some problem in him, whether he was already sick and then because of the conditions may have activated something worse, maybe they restrained him wrongly, but the police were under investigation for the last 5 years. Now they've had the CPS. Wow. The CPS considered manslaughter charges, but said on Wednesday, what day was that? 13th. They said on Wednesday that no further action will be taken against the officers or the force itself. His mother, Margaret Briggs, said devastated that after almost 5 long years, I'm no closer to finding out what happened to Leon or getting some accountability for his death. Now, the police were on suspension, blah, 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 without pay, they still had their jobs. They were still doing duties somewhere behind the desk. You know that they're going to help out their own. So the only people suffering here, as usual, are the families. So many people have died in police custody in the UK, and nothing has happened to officers who are responsible for their deaths or around, and so maybe culpable for their death. And that's what's going on right now. Leon Briggs is just the latest of many, 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 many. There's nothing to put down what's happened to the family, but I'm just saying that this is almost normal. We expected this to happen. So obviously the community's in uproar. Mrs. Briggs was restrained before taken it to the Luton police station, where he was held in a cell and again restrained. He became unresponsive and was pronounced dead in hospital. 5 officers and a member of Bedfordshire police staff were investigated, but what is now the Independent Office of Police Conduct. Evidence was passed to CPS, which also Crown Prosecution Service, which also considered a charge of corporate manslaughter against the force itself. Corporate manslaughter. That's like, you're all on this. You're all investigating. You're all in on this. And now they've just been let off. Yeah, no, we're not going to continue with this investigation. It's over now. Yeah, he just died. Oh, well. So that's how they've left it. It's not how the community's leaving it. There's only one thing that will settle this, is that these police are found culpable. They go down for it. Things change big time in how they arrest us, how they deal with us as black people, how they deal with people mental health wise. Starting to get myself upset here. So this is the only way we're going to accept. We're going to stop our march towards justice, is if we get some kind of result pertaining to justice. There's no way that the mum has got sufficient answers to what happened, so that has to be sorted out completely as well. There has to be answers. Can't just be so, okay, suspicious death, but we're not culpable, so bye. It can't be like that. I am getting myself a bit too hype right now. Okay. But this is the way I feel about it. When I heard, it's my mate, it's a friend. The way my son is called Leon, and he's the same age. He's around the same age, and all I envisioned was they could grip up my son for being a bit too loud in their eyes, do this kind of stuff. We could kill you, get away with it, that kind of attitude, deal with him, and then they come and tell me, yeah, he just died, deal with that. And then they set me off. Now, speaking as a person of knowing what I'm capable of, and personally, you do mine, I'm going to go out. I'm not going to wait for the police to sort it out. I'm one of them kind of people. I may take things into my own hands. And I was, because he was a friend, he used to come where I lived, Denmark, close to Marsh Farm. His yard was just around the corner, and they used to pass by and everything. We'd talk about the cars and stuff he was working on, and he used to be helping out with the street games that we used to come out with. So he's always getting involved in all that kind of stuff. Totally nice person. If he had mental problems, he had mental problems. But, why aren't the police trained for this? They know the law. They should have taken them away to a hospital. Might still have been alive today. But we don't know now. Don't know what's going on. Anyway, that's what we were talking about. In celebrity and community, Serena Williams, and the justice continues. We continue to fight for justice with the Leon Briggs story. All right, so be aware that we are doing meetings quite soon. I've got to go to a meeting about this in Luton. So if you're based in Luton, if you know about Luton, we're going to be at Marsh House on Monday. So I'm going to be there. And we're going to be talking about this because we've got another move. We've got another thing to go. This is not over. It's not over at all. We're going to do this. All right. So I'm going to go straight into what sparks me off because I only got a few minutes left. What sparks me off is people who cannot defend their position and stick with it no matter what, even though they have been found to be wrong in what they believe in or what they were backing up is completely false, and they stick with it no matter what because they know nothing else. They cannot debate. They cannot see another way. They know this most of their life, so they're sticking with it. I can't stand these people. Why do they exist? Why do they always contact me on Facebook? I get in so many debates, and you know, you prove them. Like 1 and 1 is 7. No, it's not. It's 2. Prove it. Okay, mathematics is simple. You add one thing to another thing. 1, 2. The answer is 2. It's not possibly 7. Yeah, you say that, but back up your facts. Back up your reasoning. I don't have to. 1 plus another 1. When you went to school, what was 1 and 1? 2. Okay, you know that. Yeah, everyone knows 1 and 1 is 2. Okay, I'm saying add 1 to another 1 makes 7. No, you just said it a second ago. It's 2. So let's try again with my fingers out loud and physically see it. 1 plus 1 is 2, yeah? So we're good, yeah? No. When I was taught back in the land, 1 and 1 can add 1 and another 1, and if I feel there's another 1 involved, I can add it to that as well, so it always makes 7. Wow. I'm out. Peace. I'm out. You don't understand mathematics, obviously. You have no way of debating properly on this. There's no possible way you are correct. Do you want to change your mind? No. Goodbye. These are the kind of people I talk to. And believe me, the subject is not much more different than 1 and 1 is 2. All right? And they refuse to relent on their position. They refuse to give up their weak position. They will not see another way forward. Why do these people exist? Why do we always clash? We try to no clash. Why do we always? I'm lucky. I'm fortunate. I don't believe in luck. So is it by design? Oh, God designed it that I always meet these people that don't understand themselves. Crazy. There's no God. Okay, cool. That's another discussion. All right, so that is it. That was what grinds my gears, gets on my nerves, what sparks me off. And that is it for another BLAPPS talk. Wasn't that quick? That was super fast. Maybe I should extend it to 2 hours. Nah, probably get more people, but demand. There you go. When there's a demand for my show, I will put it up to 2 hours and we'll have people coming in, sit next to me, debating, talking, conversating. You know what I mean? Make the show larger. Okay, thank you for coming in. I'm wonderful to be graced by your presence. I'm glad that you see that there's things that need talking about, getting off our chests, and so halving the problem. Be easy about who you talk to on Monday, tomorrow. We know that these subjects are sensitive, and because we relate to them on different levels. But always remember, you could be wrong. You could be wrong, okay? So let's find out by talking and discussing it where everyone lies and then make a decision, like Brexit. Go with it. It's done. It's over. All right. So thanks for coming in. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Everybody be cool. You be cool, and you have been blapsed.